FM, and you are listening on 103.1 FM, and the studio hotline 0114242500. And the WhatsApp we are on 788 and then the Facebook Iman FM Radio, and you can follow us on Twitter at Iman FM 1031 and Skype Iman FM 1031. Hadr Jalaluddin al-Rumi says the way or the pathway to the truth goes through the heart, not from the mind. If you want to know the truth, make your heart is very clear, and then the heart will direct you to the right pathway. But you have to challenge your feeling, and you have to challenge your weaknesses. By the end, you will reach that your soul and your heart will be connected to Him, to Allah. So when you know yourself as a human, you will be able to know Allah Himself. And this is actually taking me to what we have been experiencing as a Muslim, and in the UK in the last few days, this sad incident happened in Manchester. I am very sorry. I don't feel that we need to apologize as a Muslims, because we are not the one to blame. And I feel very bad because every time something happened, we have to, lots of people feel they are blamed and they have to apologize. Or no, we are in solidarity. We are in command. We feel what they feel, because we have been as a Muslim subject to this all the time. In Syria, lots of children has been killed. Innocent people were killed. Lots of innocent people were killed in Iraq. Lots of people were killed in Yemen, and they have been killed all the time. We see all the crimes every day in the TV, and it's sad. It is sad to see these crimes, and it's sad to feel fear. To feel fear that you are targeted by these people who are claiming to be Muslim, but they have nothing to do with Islam. I have Manar with me today, my daughter, and she's fasting, mashallah. How is fasting with you, Manar?
It's really hard, and it's my second time in my whole life doing it fully, because I didn't used to persevere to get where I was, but yesterday I did, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Alhamdulillah. Manar, what do you think about what happened in Manchester?
To be honest, it's really horrible and disgusting, because a world of people should not live in fear. Innocent children that were at the concert shouldn't be fear to go and have fun and enjoy themselves. But the fact that people are blaming Islam for it is really disgusting and horrible, because why would you blame one religion, a whole religion? I don't understand. Everyone does mistakes, and I know they're claiming to be Islam, but Islam is haram to do commit suicide. It's haram to kill people. It's a peaceful religion. So why are people making it out to be horrible and increasing Islamophobia with what they say, and they're saying you should not belong here? Well, where are we supposed to belong? Because some people are taking over our countries, and it's not our fault. And we're not doing anything, but we're getting all the blame on us.
Well, basically, this is a little child. This is the sound of Manar. Why when Manar this morning, she said, "Mom, I want to come with you to the radio." And I said, "Okay, why not?" And in the way, I told her, "What is the main purpose? Why did you ask to come?" She said, "Well, I would like to contribute my voice to the voices." She wanted to speak about what happened in Manchester, and she wanted to share her opinion, and I wanted you to hear the voices of these little ones. It's nothing to blame them. They are young people, and they have been involved in such issues which have nothing to do with it, basically. What is really worrying me, and worried me at that time, that there are souls who are suffering, and there are families who are suffering, and some politicians and some people start to gain benefit out of this. So how you can get benefit out of the death? How you can get benefit out of a crime? And it seems that it's a dirty game. When you read that lots of mosque has been, or few mosque has been attacked before of the, because of the crime happened, and I wouldn't call her anything else except a crime, to be honest, because this is a crime by the end of the day. And we see crimes every day on the TV. We see them every day, and we live with them. We started to just they become part of our life, and this is us to blame, all of us. It's not the religion to blame. Islam doesn't have anything to do with Muslims' behavior. Muslims themselves, they have a lot of problems with practicing Islam, and they have to go back and reflect on their practices, not to blame Islam. Islam as a religion is a universal religion. It's for everybody. And the beginning of the first ayah in Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. He is the Lord of the universe. He didn't specify himself to a specific religion. He didn't specify himself to specific people. He said, Allah says, I am the Lord of the whole universe, including human and including animals and including, everything it belongs to him. And to blame one religion, it's very sad. And it's very bad at the end of the day. And you think, why you blame one religion? Why? Who are suffering basically from this kind of criminal activities? Who is suffering, Manar? Who do you think?
I think Muslim people are suffering the most, and they're the most getting killed. Well, basically, I wanted to say something before. It's happening, it's getting taken out in schools. Like my little brother, after the Manchester attack, he's only 5. He's his first year in school, and he's getting told, "Oh, Islam is a bad religion," and his friends are coming telling him Islam is a bad religion and stuff, and you shouldn't be Muslim and stuff like that. And he comes and tells, me and my mum as a family, and it upsets us. It's not really something you want your little brother to hear all the time, that his religion is not good and his religion is horrible, and it's like a crime religion technically, and all they do is kill people and murder people and blow up stuff.
Well, Manar, when you go back and look around as a little girl, and you feel that someone has blamed you for something you didn't do, how would you feel? After the attack, what happened in the school? Did you notice anything? I didn't have the chance to ask you. Did you notice anything you didn't like?
To be honest, no, but people kept talking about it, because I think as you grow up, to be honest, no one said anything to me personally, but they've said it to each other, like their mates and stuff like that, and they're saying, "Oh, Islam is horrible" and stuff like that. And me hearing that is not the best thing to hear as a child, because I'm only 13. It's still a young age, and I don't even think adults should be hearing it either. They shouldn't be getting blamed, and they shouldn't be attacked all the time. I think it was a few months ago when there was a match, and then a Muslim woman got spat on, an old woman walking home. They spat on her for no reason. If a Muslim person did that to another person, they'd be a terrorist. I don't understand.
You mentioned to me, you and your sister, the story of that white man who has homemade.
Yeah. So I've seen a story, and it was an Englishman who made a homemade bomb, and he was made mentally ill. I think everyone who kills someone or blows up things are all mentally ill. They can't be mentally normal to go do that to a whole place. A concert is a big place, especially for a popular singer. Someone must be mentally ill for that to happen.
So why you think they made that Muslim is not mentally ill and that English is mentally ill?
Because there's a lot of hatred for Muslims. There's Islamophobia. I think what's happened over over people's actions are getting blamed on one religion, and there's no reason for that. People have just picked, like, a long time ago they blamed Jewish people with the Holocaust and and stuff like that, and now they're on another religion, and it seems to be like all one race. Like, they're all picking on one race, they're trying to get rid of one race, and it's mainly politicians and stuff like that that are doing that. Like, dictators especially are doing that. Like, I mean, especially a long time ago, like, I mean, putting an innocent child and lying to them, saying they're going in a shower and then murdering them, is disgusting for a human being. Also, they are mentally ill. So you can't put the blame all on one person. What the person who does it and blames that person is mentally ill and then is lying, and it's not right.
So do you remember Jo Cox, Manar? Do you remember Jo Cox, the lady she's from the Parliament, and she has been killed in Leeds, and then they said that the person who killed her, he said Britain first, and he killed her, and they made him mentally ill as well. Why is that terrorist, do you think?
I think because he's got a lot of people backing him, and I think they want to as they're saying again, like a cultural cleansing. They don't want other people that they know is going to be diverse and happy, but they can't do that. They only want themselves, and that's it. Like, I mean, it's weird how over a period of time, it's only one race that's doing the criminal activity. So, like, first it was racism with black people, then it's Jewish people, now it's Islamophobia. What's it going to be next?
So do you think this is going to be going?
I think
they will go over Muslims, or to stay there?
I think they won't leave Muslims alone until they've completely, like, broken them down, like, cleansed them out and, like, wiped them out. I don't think they'll be happy until that happens.
Well, we are hearing the voice of little child who is only 13. And I think this is very bad. I'm very honest here, and Manar is saying what she has in her mind. And I think a lot of children have something similar from all parties, from all people. Even those people who are increasing the hate and racism in their children's heart. When my son comes to me and say, "Mom, my friend, he names him," and that boy, by the way, he is mixed race boy. He's not pure English. He's mixed race boy, and he told him that Islam is the religion of killing, and he shouldn't be Muslim. So how can I, help this child to make his own way and his own option with this pressure from other children around him, and from this bad thinking and bad way of thinking? And this is little child, that mixed race little child. He wouldn't come to my child and tell him this unless he heard from all people saying it. When we stop, I don't understand when we are going to make the decision to stop racism as a human. When we are going to stop that racism until we are all finished, but it's not. We are not going to get anywhere if we increases now the hate in the children's hearts, and they are only little children. How the country will look like in 5 years time, in 10 years time, when these children get older and grow up? How this going to help the development? How is this going to help our own message as a human being to build up the world? I think we have to stand stop for a minute and think about what we are doing as a human being. And it's all for us to blame. It's for everybody to blame. I've heard racism from everybody around me. Lots of people have a lot of racism expressions in their speech, sexist expression in their speech. Why we are against each other? Why we can't work with each other? Why? When a Muslim like me from Syria go against a Muslim from Pakistan, what is the point? Because we are culturally different? Why a Muslim Syrian go against a Muslim Yemeni? We had this conversation. I had this conversation with a lot of people around me, and they see it. They see Muslims by themselves has racism against each other. We don't celebrate the same day of Eid. Why? Because my sheikh told me not to celebrate that ummah is. We are the same ummah, guys. We have to go over this. Some people following Iran, some people following Saudi Arabia. We are, at the end of the day, following Allah, and only one we are requested to follow is Allah. From whatever race you are, from whatever religion you are, from whatever faith you are, by the end of the day, we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We are from Him, and we are going back to Him. So, what is the point of all this? What is the point of us fighting? What is the point of us killing each other? What of the point of us just hating each other? What is the point of us just challenging each other? Now we are in the fasting month of Ramadan, and I was going to speak about this as well. A lot of people are practicing Ramadan just to feel the suffer of being thirsty and hungry. But in practice, you don't see anything changed. They backbiting each other. They take each other money. They haven't been fair. They lie. But this is not the main purpose of fasting. In fasting, you have to show different attitudes. In fasting, you have to understand the main practices of Islam. Why we are practicing Islam. Why fasting is the best activity, why the fasting is the best practices, and Allah is the only one who rewards people who fasting. Because it's very complicated emotion, it's very complicated practice. It's not about only to fill the bowl. Believe me, if we are Muslim fill the bowl, you won't see anyone poor in our community. But can you look around you and see how much rich people are there? And they claiming to be imams, and they claim to be sheikhs, and they claim to be religious people. Can you see around you? Do you know that putting a food in a child's mouth who is hungry is better than praying all night? What is the point of standing in Allah's hand if we have no clear heart? How you face Him with your heart not clean? How you go stand in His hand and say وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا مسلما وما أنا من المشركين? How would you say, I am going to pray for you, or my Lord, and I have all my intention and heart with you? How? With no clean heart. How? Explain to yourself before explain to me. It's the time now to make a decision, guys. It's the time. Look around you. I saw lots of people and they say, oh, the time is running very fast. It's very true. And this is what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says before. He said, by the time the end of the life, the time will run very fast because al-barakah will be taken away. Can you see any barakah in our life? There is no barakah in our life. There is no barakah in our money. Why? Because we don't practice good Islam. I was so angry when what happened in Manchester. Not because only a Muslim person who did it, or the Muslim person who is claimed to be Muslim he did it. It scares me because we are not rich yet. We didn't reach yet to the point that, okay, there is bad people around us and from all religion, and when we see something bad, we have to declare it. And some people said it has been declared to the authority, but the authority didn't take the declares or the announcement in a charge. But again, a lot of questions to be asked. And staying silent and just presuming that everything is okay is not going to help. The issue is increasing very, very bad. And yesterday there was a match in Sheffield here, and a lot of people, police people, were around. How do you think children will feel about this? I am adult. I was scared. This feeling I'm not happy. I have fear in my heart came to me. How do you think little children will feel about having lots of police on the street around them? I think we have to come to a proper talk and to solve this and make a clear message. And I will come back after the advertisement and the news to you. And I want you to notice what will be seen in the news as well, because media is playing a very dirty game, and we have to stop this as we can. Now going to the advertisement. Ramadan, Ramadan,
Ramadan, a month of mercy, forgiveness, and freedom from hellfire. You are listening to Iman FM 103.1 FM.
कोई गुजरे हुए कल की बात करता है तो कोई आने वाले कल की बात तार चौधरी आपके लिए लाता है प्रोग्राम आज की बात ज़ेरे बहस आते हैं मकामी और बैनुल अक़वामी हालात हर सोमवार दिन 1:30 बजे सिर्फ ईमान एफएम पर
Sahara Kenya project, a dream that belongs to a retired elderly couple. We need your support to feed the poor and give those in need a chance to stand on their own feet. £50 can feed a family for 1 month. Show the difference you can make during this blessed month of Ramadan. For donations, please contact 07927 618 410 or visit saharakenyaproject.com.
Raja Brothers
भाई कौन हैं ये राजा ब्रदर्स
ग्रोसरी की दुनिया में एक शाहकार राजा ब्रदर्स जहां दस्तयाब है आटा चावल मसाला जात ताजा सब्जियां इस्लामी किताबें और बच्चों के खिलौने जो एक बार आए वो कभी ना भूले
Raja Brothers specialist in authentic foods 299 Stanford Road Darnell Sheffield 0114 244 1970 Raja Brothers
The Carpet Stop continues to bring you even more amazing offers with free fitting available on hundreds of carpets, free home visits and estimates, and great offers on beds and mattresses. So if you're in need of carpets, laminate flooring, vinyls, rugs, beds or mattresses, pay us a visit at Greenland Road, Darnell, Sheffield. Telephone 0114 261 6888 or visit us at thecarpetstop.co.uk. Special offer for our listeners. Free underlay on selected ranges.
The Carpet Stop for the best on the floor price.
जुलो जुलो जुमेरा जुलो
क्या दुबई की बात कर रहे हैं
नहीं नहीं जुमेरा स्पाइस रेस्टोरेंट
नाम तो बहुत सुना है वहाँ क्या खास है
देसी रवायती खाने जिन्हें की खाए कहते हैं मुल्खानी याद ताजा हो जाए
सुना है शादी ब्याह और सालगिरह के लिए आउटडोर कैटरिंग भी करते हैं
बिल्कुल सही बुझे आए इसने नाल-नाल हाउस स्पेशल कराइयां ते बाल्टी डिशा देसी स्टाइल स्टार्टर विच लैम चाप्स चिकन बोटी लिवर टिक्का ते चिकन काबली
Jumeirah Spice Restaurant 1 The Common Actors Sheffield 01142 467 238
Alchemy comes to Doncaster, UK's largest South Asian art festival. A full day of theatre, music, comedy events on the 3rd of June in Doncaster Town Centre at Cast Theatre. Headline of the festival is an electrifying night of rap and hip-hop. A unique opportunity to see artists from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and India, alongside UK artists Rockstar, Sonic Music and DJ Turkey Cyphers. Get 2-for-1 tickets at Beats Without Boundaries at castingdoncaster.com.
क्यू एजुकेशन वेलफेयर ट्रस्ट आजाद कश्मीर के इंतहाई गरीब पसमानदा इलाकों के गुरबा मसाकीन और जरूरतमंदों के लिए अपनी खिदमत पेश कर रहा है इस बाबरकत महीने में ताउन की अपील की जाती है अपने अतियात सदकात खैरात और ज़कात क्यू एजुकेशन वेलफेयर को देकर इल्म के चिराग को रोशन फरमाएं और अपनी दुनिया और आखिरत को बुकाए नूर बनाएं मज़ीद मालूमात के लिए 07444636006 पर राब्ता कायम करें
रमजान 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 है रहमान ईमान 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 है रमजान
Together we will learn and teach the beauty of Islam this Ramadan only on Iman 103.1 FM
After police released new CCTV images of Salman Abedi on the night he killed 22 people. Meanwhile, a huge security operations in place in the city for the Great Manchester Run. Mayor Andy Burnham's taking part. He says thousands of people have turned out.
It's incredible. This is the spirit of Manchester in evidence. You know, it's unbelievable that so many people have turned out. They're sending a clear message, aren't they? We're not going to be beaten by this. You're not going to change us. You're not going to divide us.
British Airways has resumed flights at both Gatwick and Heathrow after a massive computer failure grounded its planes at airports yesterday. Passengers are warned of further disruption this bank holiday weekend, though, as the airline works to fix issues. BA's told customers who haven't been rebooked onto other flights not to come to the airport. Graham Saunders is among a number of angry passengers.
If you've got boarding passes and things like this, they're not letting you in at all. They've told us to come down to here to see about your baggage or rebook. Then somebody tells you it's on level 3, then somebody tells you it's out the back here. No one from BA will actually speak to you.
Sri Lanka's appealed for help to deal with its worst flooding for more than a decade. The Red Cross have confirmed that 144 people have died, with 99 still missing. It's believed 500,000 people have been displaced from their homes. The rock star Greg Allman's died, aged 69. He founded the Allman Brothers Band, best known for their song Jessica, used as the Top Gear theme for many years. In sport, Lewis Hamilton's trying to come from well down the grid right now at the Monaco F1 Grand Prix. Jenson Button's also racing in his one-off return to the sport. And world tennis number 1, Angelique Kerber's out of the French Open in round 1 after losing to Ekaterina Makarova. She's the first number 1 seed to lose at that stage in the Open era. That's the latest. I'm Jo Flegg.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are listening to Iman FM again on 103.1 FM and the studio hotline 01142425 and the WhatsApp on 0788559986 and the Facebook Iman FM Radio, and to follow us on Iman FM 103.1 and Skype Iman FM 1031, and of course we are on Iman TV on Facebook. Going back to what we were saying about fasting in Ramadan and what is the actual meaning of fasting. I will speak to Manar because I myself use when I educate about religion, I want the children to understand. When I educate about religion, I don't educate as a lot of people doing. My children, I don't educate them in the same way. I make them really, I encourage them to live the experience so they can get the best of it, and then they make their own mind. Because I have realized that a lot of children, they have been, who has been forced to do, for example, fasting, or they haven't been, the parents didn't explain the actual meaning of fasting and why we fast. These children, they don't really know how to make the concept of fasting and how they are connected to that concept as a Muslim. So, hearing from Manar now, Manar, you are fasting today.
Mm-hmm.
What fasting means to you, Mama?
Fasting means to remember and to get closer to Allah and to think about what you're doing for that whole month. It's like a break of what you're doing with your life and how you're living it. Because if it's wrong, you have a time to change it. Allah's giving you that time to change, to show respect, to help people, to give money to charity. And like my mum said, instead of praying, you could give someone food. Like, people ask me, what's the point of fasting when you get a really big meal at the end? And poor people don't get that. What poor people do, if you give them money, it's not only about fasting and you're not eating all day and you're not drinking all day and saying how poor people feel. And it's about what you're giving to others and how you're treating others around you and how you feel about what you're doing with your life. And is it good? Is it like valuable, what I'm doing? Or is it like a waste of time? Like all I'm doing is sleeping throughout Ramadan. You shouldn't do that, really. I know it gets your mind off fasting, but you shouldn't be sleeping all day and saying, oh, right, I've just got through the day. You should be getting up, helping people. That's the whole point. That's how you forget that you're fasting and you have not eaten all day. Is you getting up and helping people.
Well, just to correct you, Manar, I didn't say you can instead of praying, you can, or You can't give food. No, you have to do your practices, like the 5 practices of praying. You have to do your fasting, but you have to do it with a good intention, and that good intention means what is the actual meaning of fasting. First of all, let me remind you with the concept of fasting, what it means. In Arabic, as-siyam is fasting, is to stop eating or drinking. This is the linguistic understanding of it. So fasting means to stop eating and drinking. What happened when we fast? When we stop eating and drinking, what happened? I will tell you my experience myself. When we fast, we stop eating and drinking, then our system will slow down a little bit. That slow down when you are doing the activities every day, your daily activities, and when your system is slowing down, then you realize how much you have been given as a gift to you, the food and the drink. Because when your energy goes down, then you focus more in that energy, how it's going to help you, the rest of your energy, how it's going to help you do more. And you think about these people who has been starving for years and years. In Syria, we have people in the siege been in the siege for 5 years, and they were eating from the leaves, and they are eating from it what is available there. And I was thinking, well, how these people been living all this time? By the end of the day, you have the time when you can break your fast and you prepare all this nice food for yourself. But what about these people who doesn't have anything and there is no end for their fast? Have you ever thought about this? Or you are selfish and close-minded to yourself to the extent you didn't even think about them? Do you think that giving a charity is enough? Like to give your charity what you have been told to give? In this, I would call this the time we are living now is a crisis time for all human beings, not only for us, by the way, not only for us as a human, as a Muslim, sorry. We are living the crisis era for everybody. Everybody is in crisis now. And we are in crisis because we are very self-centered. We are very selfish. And we see only ourselves. We don't see anything else. We don't see anyone else. And when we think that we are doing something good, we do it for ourselves as well. To make us feel good. But we don't do it to make people feel good. And believe me, when you make that shift in your mind and say, well, listen, you tell yourself, listen, you. And I speak to my Shahd, for example. I speak to Shahd and tell her, listen, Shahd, it's not your time now, this is the person time. You give your time to that person. You decided to give your time to that person. You give it for Allah first, because for sake of Allah, and for this person I am in charge now in that person, and I am responsible for that person. So I give all my time that I said I will give to that person, not for me, not for that person. And subhanallah, Allah will reward back doubles. Allah will double it to you when you have a good intention in your heart. So the fasting, and I was saying the fasting will reduce the amount of energy you have in terms of food and in terms of drinking. And to me personally, I found out that as less energy I have, as more I start to think about how am I going to deal with this, and what are the responsibilities I have, what are more responsibilities I have to do, and I didn't do them, and I have all this lack of energy. And I think I remember immediately that I can't depend on myself. I cannot as a human depend on myself. I have to depend on him, on his energy. I'll tell you a story. Yesterday, and Manar is here now. She knows this story. Yesterday I came back from work I finished work at 4:30, and I had to take Jacob to cut his hair, and then Manar to tidy her hair, and then we went back home, and we reached home around 6 o'clock, and we were only 3 hours away from 3 hours and a half away from Maghrib, and I didn't prepare anything for food yet. So I had to pray Asr and then read some Quran, and the house was messy because the girls didn't do much job at the home, and I had Jacob with me. And I had Nagam, my daughter, she has her GCSE, and with all this nagging and pressure, and Manar is fasting and she's not in her mood because she's tired. And I was thinking I have very bad ache in my head and very bad ache in my feet because I've been standing on my feet for a long time. And I thought, how am I going to manage all this? I had some kind of, half-ready prepared food in the fridge. When I take them away from the fridge, I realize that the fridge is not working. And the food is not, this half-cooked food isn't, it's not, I didn't feel safe to use it. So I had to make a new meal, and it was almost 8 o'clock. I had to clean and prepare the house first before, and then I start cooking. And can you imagine the amount of pain I was in? But I couldn't depend on myself because I have 3 in my hand, and I have to keep going. At that time, if you think about it, with my own normal energy as a human being, I wouldn't be able to do it. But I had the support from him, and I felt that support. And my daughters, both of them were, because the food I cooked was very complicated. We called it kubba in Arabic, and it's a complicated. And I will give the mic to Mimi to explain to you what is kubba. What is kubba, Manar?
It's a really nice food, and it's really hard to prepare. Like it's got really different ways to eat it. Like you can have it with yogurt and boil it for like ages. You can fry it in little balls, and you can put it in the oven, and you can eat it in loads of different ways, and it's really, really nice. And it takes a very long time. It takes, I think, like a whole day to prepare. And somehow she did it in like less than half an hour of doing it. She made the dough, she made the salad with it, she made the stuffing, she put it in the oven. It's really hard to do that. She seasoned it in less than half an hour, and it cooked. Like we ate it at the end, like it cooked. I was really surprised.
Did you enjoy it? Was it nice?
I'm craving it now.
So basically, this is the story, and it's a real story. I'm not giving you a story which hasn't been there. It's a real story, and it happened with me yesterday. And when you think about al-barakah, that Allah will give you in your time, barakah means that He will put extra value to your time because you believe in Him. I'm not claiming here I am a great believer. No, I am not claiming this. I am saying that the actual meaning of fasting is to depend on Him. And I said, oh Lord, I was really crying yesterday because I was in really bad pain. My feet were aching, and the girls were really naughty yesterday.
She stood on a pin as well.
And then I stood on a pen as well. So when Manar left a pen on the floor, and then it's Manar.
Yeah, a little nail pin thing, and she stood on it.
So yeah, I stood on the pen with all this, and I had to cook the food for the kids, and I was able to provide. And my alhamdulillah, I was able to cook for them and give them the food. So practically, the fasting is empowerment. It empowers our heart and our soul. And if you didn't feel that energy in you, you have to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right fasting? Am I really experiencing this deep meaning of fasting? When we have children around us, guys, it's very difficult. I know I am a mother, and I have 3 in my hand, and I'm managing them by myself alongside my work. And alongside a lot of things I'm doing in my life. And when you come to the fact that how this all happened, how this all has been managed, yes, I fail sometimes. I can't do it perfectly fine. But I have the energy because I am depending on Him, and I know I have a message. I have to deliver it by the end of the day. Today I had very bad headache, and I said I would tell Uncle Shabir to maybe replay some kind of, previous show. But then I said, no, I'm not going to cancel it. I'm going. And I did it. I am here. I'm speaking to you. And I'm telling you my experience, so we will all learn together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He asked us to fast, people before us, they were fasting. And it's in Quran. Allah prescribed to us the fasting as it has been prescribed for others as well. Christian, they do have their own fasting. They fast in their way. Jewish, they have their own fasting. They fast in their way. All religions, they have all their own fasting and they have fast in their way. But the issue is why we are fasting and why it is in this way. It's very important to think about the practices we do in fasting. It's when we wake up in the morning, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can you imagine, now we are breaking our fast about 9:30, and then we have Maghrib time, we have our iftar, and then we have Isha, and then we do Taraweeh, and then we go to sleep, and then we wake up again for Sahur at around 2 o'clock maybe, or 1:30. So the total amount we sleep at between iftar and between sahur is maybe an hour and a half. And can you imagine the amount of desire we have to have in our heart to be able to wake and do sahur and do then fajr prayer? Why we do all that? Why we have been practiced to do all that? Because Allah wanted to tell us that this is the best way to do it in this way, because we will be practicing for Him. Allah says in the Quran, it's Hadith Qudsi, is a speech, like a holy speech. الصيام لي وأنا الذي أجزي به. The fast is for me and I am the one who will reward on it. And it says especially fasting. Why? Because there is a lot of patience involved in it. Practicing patient is not to be patient means that you can sleep all the day, as Manar said, and then you wake up 2-3 hours before breaking the fast, before Maghrib time, and then start watching on the TV for 2-3 hours, and then break your fast and then enjoy the rest of your day as nothing happens. This is not the meaning of patient. The meaning of patient doesn't mean that you men, and I'm now going to speak to men especially, because they think that the ladies' kitchen work is for ladies, and the reality is the work for everybody. This lady who has, especially when we have big family and when a man live in his parents' house, there is a lot of people there. And the woman who is fasting, she has been fasting as well all day, and on the top of that, she's been negotiating with the children and fighting with them all the day, and taking all these silly things from them, and educating them and raising them. And some children are not fasting, so she is feeding them. So it's not fair on you to sit on your sofa enjoying, resting, and she is cooking the food. Gosh, just join her in the kitchen and help her, because she's a human being. And who told you that she is responsible for preparing the food by herself? If you think that you are working and supplying the money for the house, then this is your children as her children, then she is doing the house cleaning. Why you are not there then for her? Why you think that you can do as a man whatever you think you can do, and then leave the woman for the rest of the pain for her? It's not fair. You have to think as a man as well about being fair. In Islam or in the family structure, we consider man is that the lord of the house, and the lord doesn't mean he has the authority to make decisions only, but the lord means that he is He is caring person, and he will take care of the family, and he will take care of the woman as well as the children, as well as the parents, as well as the family member, because he is the Lord. Like Allah, he is the Lord of the universe. He is taking care of everything. He didn't ask you, for example, or us as a human being to provide to him. He provides to himself, and he provides to us. So please try to think about the concept, and then about you as a human being. What are you doing? Is it correct? Is it good to practice what you are doing? Are you practicing correctly? I found lots of bad practices in myself, Shahd. As a Shahd, I found a lot of bad practices. I'm trying to be patient, and I'm learning to be patient. I'm learning to control all this kind of feeling which we don't really like as a human, but it comes to us. We are upset, we are tired, we are sad. Well, we are human by the end of the day. And we shouldn't, I think we shouldn't feel shame from our feelings. And we should learn how to manage them or how to express them as well. Some people think that no, expressing your feeling is not a good thing, but it is. When you are fasting, it's good to tell your daughter, I am tired now, can you please talk to me later? Can we sort this out later? Then your children will know, they will learn how to manage their life as well as you are learning how to manage your feeling. I am myself, I've been speaking in the last few weeks about the education and how the education system is pressurizing the children, and I'll bring Manar to the scene. Manar, how are you? Are you listening? Mm-hmm. Are you enjoying what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is your conclusion of what I'm saying?
My conclusion of what you're saying is, well, it's overall the meaning of Ramadan. And it's overall women's rights as well. So obviously you cannot leave a woman in the kitchen to cook on your own, because I've realised that a lot, especially like big brothers and older brothers, and like it's like a culture to leave the woman and the girls downstairs to cook and clean, and they all go upstairs and sleep, and then they wake up and eat and then go back to sleep. Like I see that a lot, and they're really controlling, and they think just because of their title they can control, they can do whatever they want, and that's not right, because I think the most powerful people are the people who get up when they're fasting and they have no energy, they cook a full meal for all their children and all their family, and then after you eating and after you feel down, sometimes if you drink too much water and then keep eating after your fast, you feel sick. And women and mothers still get up and have to clean after everyone else, and then have to like sit down. I don't even think they have time to sit down, and then wake up again to make food for suhoor. And I feel like that's what makes someone really powerful and has the right to control someone.
Yeah, so you are so sweet, Manar. What about Nigam? How do you feel about the exam pressure she's going through, and how do you think this will influence on her fasting?
To be honest, she does go through a lot, because they say to you, oh, this is a big deal, it's for your life. But I don't think fasting has anything to do with it. It might it might make you tired and weak a bit, and obviously you need water because you're dehydrated. But the thing is, you should not take that as an excuse to not help others and not feel the way others feel. You shouldn't use that as an excuse at all. I understand her feeling. Everyone has exams right at the end of the year of their school and stuff like that, and it's really pressurizing, because what they say to you is, this is really important and this depends on your life. And some teachers say to you, you don't need to fast if you don't want to. So they're giving you the choice, but obviously your choice is what matters, because you're thinking if you don't fast then you'll do better, but if you do fast you won't do as good. But it's no difference. They're two completely different things.
So Manar's message here that the relationship between education and fasting is not very much connected, isn't Manar? So you don't feel they are connected?
No, I don't feel like they're connected at all, because, well, it depends how much you connect them, really. It depends what people say to you. It's on you, really. It's what you think. It's not about what other people say to you, what other people think. It's about, if I fast, that I'll do well. If I don't fast, that. It's not that, you have your choice, you know. And Allah himself will, he'll forgive you. Obviously, if it's an urgent thing, he'll forgive you. It's not wrong if you're ill or tired. You don't have to. It's not like he's forcing you to, or you just go to hell. It's not that. He's giving you a choice, and it's a challenge for you. And the harder the challenge, and the more you get through it, the better your deeds are.
So, I am learning from Manar now that the harder the challenge is, the better deeds you're gonna get. And the question is, how many challenges are we having in our life, and how we can deal with them. It's going to be my my conversation with you, my audience. I hope I'm not pressurizing a lot this evening, because I know it's a Sunday evening, and lots of people who may listen to me now, they are in their houses, or maybe they are in their cars working, and I know the majority of our car drivers who are listening to the show are Muslims as well. So I hope I'm giving a nice conversation, and it's not going to pressurize you a lot or make you feel not very good. Now we are going back to the advertisement, and I will come back to you after the advertisement, inshallah.
Together, we will learn and teach the beauty of Islam this Ramadan. Only on Iman 103.1 FM.
ਬੂਵੇ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਦਵਾਰੇ ਆ ਗਏ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਜਾਨੀਆਂ ਦਰਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਆ ਗਏ ਜੀਆਂ ਸਾਮੀਨ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ ਅੱਲਾਹ ਰਸੂਲ ਦੀ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਸਲੂਕ ਦੇ ਰਾਸਤੇ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਇਜਾਜ਼ चिश्ती और फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान फकीर शेर मोहम्मद ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਮੰਗਲ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਮ 6 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 8 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ
In a world where accident claims are poorly managed and the referral fees paid are so low, and just when all hope is lost in the city of Sheffield, a hero emerges. A hero so powerful, one phone number is all you need. A hero named Mr. Compensator. For your referral fee of £2,000, call Mr. Compensator now on 0114 3863 386. Terms and conditions apply.
Grand Designs Rotherham is now open. The region's designer sofa and bedroom centre and lighting outlet. We're at the A630 Masborough Street roundabout, Rotherham, near Exercise for Less Gym, Greasborough Street, located at the former Charlie Brown's premises. The trade centre offers factory prices direct to you with over 80% saving on recommended retail prices. Call 01709 836 929.
मैं जा रही हूँ द बाजार में
For a great happy shopping day, visit the bazaar. You will love the new bazaar.
जहाँ पर हर तरह के नए फैशन अच्छी कीमतों के साथ खुले हैं.
Visit the bazaar at Syme Street, BD1 3RB, former Rawson Market.
Open every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also every Wednesday at Leeds Kirkgate Market.
The Bazaar, जहां आपको हर किस्म की चीज मिल सकती है.
The bazaar. Ooh yeah.
मेरा नाम आयशा है और मेरा ताल्लुक कश्मीर ऑर्फन्स रिलीफ ट्रस्ट मीरपुर से है. कोर्ट एजुकेशनल कॉम्प्लेक्स चरिकस मेरे ख्वाबों की जन्नत, जहां बेहतरीन देखभाल, आला तालीम, बेपनाह प्यार और मेहरबान शफकत हम सबको हासिल है. अब फेज 2 में 500 बच्चों और बच्चियों के लिए रिहायशगाहें बन रही हैं और इसके लिए 9 करोड़ रुपए चाहिए. मुझे यकीन है आप मायूस नहीं करेंगे.
कश्मीर ऑर्फन्स रिलीफ ट्रस्ट 0300 123 7774 court.org.uk.
Iman FM on air 24/7 365. We're ready to help you promote your business to your target market, from airtime campaigns to program sponsorship, social media interaction to online campaigns that'll reach your customers quickly and effectively. Call us now on 0114 242 0551 or email info@imanfm.com and let's get things happening to your business with Iman FM.
ओ दोस्ता ओ मेरी स्पीडिंग टिकट है मैं क्या करा तू खान सोलिसिटर्स की कॉल कर उना कोल स्पेशल टीम ही जेडी रोड ट्रैफिक केसेस रेड लाइटां नो इंश्योरेंस तो किनी के इमिग्रेशन फ्रॉड मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग पर्सनल इंजरी क्लेम्स सिविल लिटिगेशन तक कत्ल ने केस भी हल करने ने ते जे तुसा समझो कि पुलिस तुसे नाल कोई ज्यादती कीती है ते ओ कंपनसेशन भी दुआने ने ओ खान चुड़ा माड़ी जान
Khan Solicitors 351 Abbeydale Road Sheffield 0114 258 3399.
Ramazan Mubarak, Ramazan Mubarak, Ramazan Mubarak.
Iman FM with you 24/7 in the month of Ramadan. Keep listening on 103.1 FM at imanfm.com or on TuneIn Radio app.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are listening to Iman FM, and the show is Learning is Gaining with Dr. Shahd Salha. Of course, the whole studio hotline is 01142425 and the WhatsApp on 0788559986, and the Facebook Iman FM Radio. And you can follow us at Iman on Twitter at Iman FM 103.1 and Skype Iman FM 1031. I was speaking with Manar and under the ear about the meaning of taqwa. And taqwa is the concept is the purpose of the actual meaning of fasting. What we mean by taqwa is to notice Allah and your behavior and your practices as Allah is existed in front of you, like he can see him as a Lord. And but basically when we fast, when we practice fasting, we don't feel we don't feel that we can keep our fast unless we feel that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching us. And because Allah is watching us, we don't do bad things. We don't break our fast, for example, in a way like we hide from people and break our fast and then eat and drink. No, we keep it this kind of relationship, a good relationship between us and Allah. Is a trust relationship that Allah is trusting us with our siyam, and we are showing this trust to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I was telling my children that I am not there to watch you all the time. When you don't have the fear and you don't have that, you can really have this kind of connection between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then there is no point from doing anything else. So practically as a human, when you create this kind of taqwa, when you create this kind of relationship between you and Allah, then this relationship will blossom, inshallah. So at-taqwa means basically that to worship Allah as you see him, but if you don't see him, he sees you. So if you are practicing fasting and you don't see Allah and you don't eat or drink, it's not only about eating and drinking, but it's also about how fear you have in your heart to Allah, and how this fear is influencing in every practice in your life, including not hurting people, including not taking something that not belongs to you, including how you deal and how you interact with people. So practically it's not only about eating and drinking again, it's about what we are doing in everyday practices. So I will give the mic to Mimi to tell me more about how do you feel, Manar, when I am not there? What keeps you doing good things in your life?
Well, it's the trust you give me, really, is what makes me think, oh, I should not do this because she's put trust in me. And doing wrong things, you know Allah's watching, especially when you're a Muslim. You should give that respect that you know that he's watching, so you should be respectful with what you do. And especially going against your own mother and lying to her, and well, it's hard to regain trust, is what I'm trying to say. It's really hard to regain it, especially when you've broken it with your own family and your own mother. It's horrible, really. It's what keeps me going and thinking, oh, like, I should not do this. It's wrong. And especially, I've thought before, oh, should I break my fast? And I thought, no, why should I? I should persevere even more. That's it.
So you fear Allah in that, yeah?
Yeah, and especially trust as well is a really big part of it.
Yeah, so trust. Speaking about trust and how we can build up this trust, I will come back to it after we have this nasheed. Shahidi, we are going for a nasheed, so I hope this is not going to be basically causing any issue, because we have some copyright issue with nasheed songs that is these days. So Shahidi, we are going for you know, a nasheed now. Oh, hi, yes, it's at the end. I've been trying very hard today to get you, Dr. Yasser. I'm sorry for this all confusion, but I'm glad you are with us at the end. Dr. Yasser is surprise for you guys today. I didn't speak about him being with us today, but I will leave the mic to Dr. Yasser to speak about himself. Dr. Yasser, do you want to tell my audience about yourself? I didn't say anything yet, so it's all yours now.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shahd. And sorry also for the inconvenience. Okay, my name is Yasser Hassan. I am a doctor, an internist. I am from Syria, but living now in Holy Mecca. Have been living in Holy Mecca for 17 years. I am married and I have 3 beautiful boys and girls, their daughters. I was born in Kamishli, which is a small city in the northern east of Syria. Do you hear me, Dr. Shahd?
Yes, I'm with you, Doctor. I'm leaving the mic to you because I want it where we don't have much time to left. It's only 15 minutes.
I just want to make sure from time to time that the connection is right.
Yeah, I will give you my voice between time to time, so you know I am here.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Yasser, can you give my people a brief idea about your background, by education background, because in the future, inshallah, we'll have a few more interviews with you. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for Ramadan and Ramadan Mubarak, inshallah.
Ramadan Mubarak also for all of you and for the whole Ummah.
Inshallah, Dr. Yasser. Dr. Yasser, before we have you in connection, we were speaking about the fasting, the month of Ramadan, and the beautiful meanings of it. But I'm not going to discuss with you about this now because I want to get the best of your knowledge and to give my audience a brief idea about your background and how we can develop this, inshallah, in the future shows. Dr. Yasser, the mic is to you to tell my audience about your serenity, if I am allowed to say this, and about your education and how you reached to where you are now and what you are doing really now. So my audience will learn from your experience.
Okay, thank you very much for your good opinion. Let me just tell you simply, briefly about my city, which is Kamishli. Mm-hmm. It is actually amazing city in Syria, and it can reflect also the nature of Syrian people. It is multilingual. You can find Arabs, Kurds, Armenian, Syriac people, even Assyrian you can find, which we call them in Arabic Ashuri. It is also multi-ethnic and multi-religious. You can find Christians, Jews, and even Satan worshippers, in addition of course to Muslims. I myself was my living area was actually in a Christian district, and all of these factors gave me opportunities to be more neutral and not biased when discussing things. I actually, from my early childhood, I loved searching. I was you can say in an intellectual anxiety to know everything as it is. I was always, alhamdulillah, in my schools, I was always nearly the first at school. Even in my secondary school, I was the first on my city. I graduated from the secondary school in 1996, in 1986, and then I traveled to Damascus to continue my study in medicine.
So you went from Kamishli to Damascus to get education in medicine, yeah?
Yes, in medicine. Mm-hmm. And I graduated in 1993 my colleagues, they graduated before me by 1 year, and actually one of the reasons of this was I was always busy, not only in my studying medicine. I was always busy with other things which attracted my mind. I mean the intellectual issues. I was busy with other things also.
So, like what, Doctor? Like what, Doctor Yasser? You were busy with
all you can say, all the intellectual issues, which can attract the mind of any young man especially in our areas, in the third world areas.
Can you give us an example, Dr. Yasser, if you don't mind? What you were busy in?
Okay.
Like when we say intellectual, because can you explain to my audience what the word intellectual means to you?
Okay, you can say, for example, the religious issues in religion, for example, which are not solved, not clear, not solved.
It hasn't been clarified, you mean? It's not clear enough to people, yeah?
It's not clear or not compatible with my way of thinking. I'm not saying that I was right, but those were the issues which can attract and even distract the mind of such a young man. For example, you can say the differences between all the intellectual schools, the renewers, for example, the traditional, all of these things were affecting my mind.
So it's kind of created a conflict in your mind, you mean? Like you weren't clear.
Yes, actually, exactly, yes.
That's interesting. And do you think this is because you've been living in as you say, district which has Muslims and non-Muslims people, and you were more open to these possibilities of thinking?
Yes, that was actually a strong factor, but not the whole factors, because my personality was like this. I remember even when I was a 7-year-old, sitting on the corner of my home. I heard the voice of the friend of my eldest brother, asking him what could be such a child thinking of at this age.
So you had a critical mind, you mean? You had a critical mind. So you kept thinking.
Yes, critical mind and skeptical psyche also, you can say.
Okay. So what happened when you went to Damascus for the medicines education? What happened? You said you've been 1 year beyond, yeah?
Yes, actually, even in studying medicine, before entering this field, I was thinking, is it haram for me to study medicine? Of course, from another point of view, which was that I was always feeling that I can bring something new to humanity, and studying just a partial profession like medicine may prevent me from developing what I was feeling, that I can do something. I didn't know which things they are, but just it is something in my deep psychology and mind that I could have. I could in future do something new to humanity. Therefore, I was thinking that entering and be busy with such a profession may be haram for me. Yes. But because I loved medicine also, I said, well, let me study medicine, because otherwise I will not be able to study medicine alone, but other things I can develop them separately.
So you decided to go for medicine because you needed systemic learning, you needed systemic education, and you left the rest for yourself. Okay, interesting. Then what happened after you finished your after you graduated from the university? What happened?
Yes, I entered the internal medicine specialty, and actually it was hard time that time, because I studied and I trained on my own cost, and in this time it was, the program of the Arab board. I finished internal medicine in 1999, and when I was studying internal medicine, I loved cardiology, and even I made a poem on cardiology.
What cardiology to my audience, Doctor?
Cardiology is, heart diseases. And I traveled to London and Birmingham in the year 2000 to continue actually in cardiology. But after living for 1 year there, I decided to go back to Syria, and then I found a contract for an internal job in Holy Mecca, and then I traveled to Mecca, and I've been there.
Why did you decide to leave? Why did you decide to leave UK, Dr. Yasser?
Actually, I felt at that time I was married, and I had 2 children, and I traveled alone, and I felt that this way in the UK may be long for me, and maybe not suitable for my situation as a married doctor and having 2 child.
So you are telling now that it's not easy to manage education at the same time having a family, isn't it? It's not easy job.
Yes, the problem is was not the difficulty of that, but the long journey it may took from me to with my family to finish my training, and actually that was very good for me. I discovered later on. I discovered that all of these high professions like cardiology, the brightness of these professions are actually less beneficial than the more general professions. But the media and the people and even the nature of human being, when they see all of these achievements, highly professional achievement in these fields like catheter and electrophysiology and other surgeries, for example. The brightness of these things are attracting the mind of people, and therefore you may find, and you find actually, you find a lot of consultants in these branches just to deal with the results of the weakness in the more general fields, like for example, say diabetes. If you can control diabetes with very low knowledge, even by people who are not doctors, if they are trained, to prevent the catastrophes which will need thousands of consultants in these branches.
I see. So you are saying, don't you think that people are really attracted by these types, these branches as you called it, because heart is the most important body part of our body, because without hearts pumping very well, we won't be able to live.
Yes, of course, but we don't like to reach that level that we will need all of these professions and highly qualified doctors to tackle these problems. You can just as if
avoid
they
it.
were.
You avoid it. You can avoid it.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, by avoiding there is a short story about this. If the time is
well, we have only 50 seconds, Dr. Yasser, but I want you to give in these 50 seconds your message for the next show. Unfortunately, I think this is the timing issue today happened between me and you. But I would like to give you this 30 seconds exactly to tell what is going to happen. Where are you taking us?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Yeah, so I need in 20 minutes now, 20 seconds now, what is going to happen next in our next show? What shall we hear from you?
Okay, actually, there are a lot of things to hear, but you didn't tell me from the beginning about the show that the time is short.
Yeah, well, as a problem that we had this kind of misconnection. We've been trying to connect you since an hour now, Dr. Yasser. I'm so sorry, but we promise you and promise our audience actually who will benefit from you to be in our show again. I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Yasser. I know the time wasn't really enough to express everything you want to express, but we are coming back to you in inshallah a few weeks time to tell us about your amazing idea, how we can think better and how we can do better in our life, and how we can really enjoy the best of our life without need to go to the heart
thank
diseases.
You very much also for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Yasser. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, my people, we are reaching to the last seconds of our show, and inshallah we will see you next week, and I will summarize what we've been speaking about with Dr. Yasser today. I'm sorry this time was very short because we've been trying to contact Dr. Yasser earlier, but it didn't work. However, we will come back to him inshallah in a very short time from now on until I see you next week. I wish you all inshallah pleasant Ramadan, and I hope you enjoyed my show today, and please stay safe and enjoy fasting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.